8:47 and welcome back. Well, many people are planning their summer vacations, and perhaps you have a few places where you enjoy vacationing each year, but perhaps you want to mix it up a little bit this summer and volunteering as a family or with a group of friends. How about that for an idea? You could stay in country or you could travel abroad, and the experience, as I have learned, will change your life. Joining us are Michele Gran, a co-founder of Global Volunteers, along with her son, Andrew Philbrook, to tell us about volunteering opportunities that will expand your scope of the world and your heart, too. I can attest to that. Nice to have you back, Michele, as always. And Andrew, pleasure. We're glad you're here today. I'm going to start with Michele, you first, talking about how you and Bud, your husband, then newlyweds, came to found Global Volunteers.
Yeah, well, it was 1979, and we were looking for something symbolically to indicate what our marriage meant to us, and so we thought we would do something at that time very unique, and we spent a short period of time in a little developing village in Costa, Guatemala. And out of that came the whole idea of giving other people the opportunity to do the same thing. And so a couple years later, we founded Global Volunteers, and I guess, as they say, the rest is history. We've sent over 25,000 volunteers since that time.
You've been on every country,
every
continent, not every country,
continent.
but every continent Global Volunteers has a
Antarctica.
program. Oh, well, you'll work on that one, right? All right, now this is something, now the two of you, have you actually, I'm assuming you've traveled together as a family, and what was that like? And why do you think it's important for people to volunteer with their family and travel?
Well, Alex, you know, it's really interesting for parents to have the opportunity to see their kids in action in a completely different context. And I think actually it's kind of fun for kids to see their parents, you know, providing a service to a community too. What we've learned more than anything, oh yeah, here's a good example. This was in Tanzania last summer. That mother and her son Matt were volunteering for 3 weeks in Palmer in Tanzania, and there we were assisting with the renovation of a school dormitory in a little community that we've been in partnership with since 1986.
Okay, now Andrew, tell us about some of the projects. Now, Montana, if you don't want to travel, for instance, all the way to Tanzania, Montana would be perhaps another destination. Is that, you've done some volunteering there?
Yep, over the summer I spent about 3 to 4 weeks with the Blackfeet Indian Reservation, and that was at a Head Start center, doing different things, like just we built a couple of playgrounds and that kind of thing. It was pretty cool.
What did you think about the experience? And I mean, how has it changed? Has it changed your life and how you see the world and, as a young person? And now, of course, working, you know, with your parents. What is that like, traveling with them and volunteering?
Well, in China, it was really cool just to be able to see different cultures and kind of interact with students my age, but of a completely different culture, and to see how they go about their daily school life and kind of compare and contrast. And that was a really eye-opening experience, and went to India and that kind of thing. Just seeing different cultures is really an amazing experience.
Tell us the project in India. What are you working on there? Because as we know, you're all across the globe. Global Volunteers is.
In India, we work in a number of different facilities, but primarily in education and healthcare. We do a little bit of labor there too. Because you know, Alex, what we've learned with these natural disasters around the world recently is that most little villages are just one natural disaster away from total collapse. And what Global Volunteers tries to do is to establish a foundation for development so that when the inevitable happens, the local community has the capacity to pick up and start over if they have to. And individuals themselves have the opportunity to start their lives afresh. And so we always work on what the local people need.
All right, well, I'm going to show some pictures. These are my own personal pictures from a trip that I have done. I've done it a couple of times with Global Volunteers. And if you can, camera one. I'm going to first start with Global Volunteers in Costa Rica. Here we were building actually it was a community center and building the cement floor. There's one picture. Here's another. Oh, here we go. So I've gone to Costa Rica with Global Volunteers. Here is the group of people, diverse backgrounds from all over the country. And then most recently, this was about 2.5 years ago, I went to Ecuador, and I worked there in a child care facility and an orphanage. And here's actually what it looked like on the outside. And the reason why we're talking about this today is because we have an event coming up on Sunday where we're going to be sharing, Michele, you'll be sharing, and I'm assuming Andrew, you'll be there talking about some programs that are being offered all across the world.
Hopefully we can emphasize that this is accessible just to average people. And so we'll be talking about the whole array of opportunities from 1 week to 6 weeks where people from the Twin Cities and all across the country can volunteer.
So I look forward to it. It'll be really casual. We'll just kind of, kick back, talk about our experiences, and if you have questions, if you've always wanted to do a little bit of volunteering, this is how you can learn about more Global Volunteers this coming Sunday, 2 p.m. At the Dunn Brothers in Loring Park, and Michele and I, Andrew, and a bunch of other people who have volunteered with Global Volunteers will be there talking about some volunteer projects. For more information, you can log on to globalvolunteers.org, or you have a Facebook page
Yes,
now.
and what you have to do is you go onto Facebook and then you just type in Global Volunteers in the search box and it'll come up. You'll find us that way too. We'll chat with you immediately if you give us a call or see us on Facebook.
Okay, well thanks you guys for coming on and talking about it. And we'll be there this weekend. We'll be talking about it throughout the week, so you'll get a chance to once again get the information if you didn't get it this time. All right, Michele, Andrew, thanks a lot for joining us, and you should volunteer.